What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crypto Sherpa Show, where I cover the latest cryptocurrency news articles to keep you up to date on what's going on in the crypto space and what is going on. Bitcoin we touched like 90,000 today. We're currently sitting at 89,331. Not bad. Like, we just been holding steady, though. Like, what is my even title? Bitcoin consolidates as the next move takes shape. And what even is the next move right now? There's a lot of bullish momentum going into 2026. Could this be our little push for our little Santa rally? Christmas is just 3 days away, so there's still a chance. Can't just roll it out yet, but I've been saying that so many times already. It's like, oh, it's going to be a red Christmas. Are we going to get a Santa rally? Well, I keep saying that because we don't know. But what is going on in Bitcoin? Let's take a look at the charts for, like, we saw the price. Let's take a look at trading view. We start loving seeing this now more often. And let's take a look at the technical analysis. It's always been really like sell, but I believe some stuff has changed. So, like, let's see, summary is, well, this just changed. When I checked it before I started the show, we were at a neutral. So the narrative was very neutral, but within this hour, literally, we switched to the sell territory again. So very bearish. Moving average is still showing us it's in the sell, but the oscillators is buy. So but yep, so Bitcoin, I don't know, it's like it's just holding, so maybe we may get like a 90,000. Hope, I'm fingers crossed for a $95,000 Bitcoin by Christmas Day. That would be very nice. But let's go through the Twitter news. What's going on in the Twitter space before we cover some articles? Let's see. President Trump could choose new Fed chair by first week of January, says CNBC. Like, again, so like we're bullish for what's to come next. And there's a 61% chance that Trump chooses former Coinbase advisor Kevin Hassett, according to Polymarket. So prediction markets, people like the normal world is just placing bets on what's going to happen within the political space. And 61% of people out there are agreeing that Trump is going to most likely choose Coinbase advisor. So let's wait and see on this. But yeah, January is just around the corner. Also in the news, speaking of Trump, looks like Trump Media acquired another 451 Bitcoin for $40.3 million. So he is still stacking his sat. We can see it on the mempool space right here, where everything is, that's the beauty of Bitcoin. It's transparent. We can see everything happening. And yep, we see three separate orders, one for 150 Bitcoin, or two for 150 Bitcoin, and the third was 150.927 Bitcoin. So that's where they acquired their 40.3 million. So that's Trump Media acquiring. We also have, let's see, Strategy posting this over the weekend. So Strategy will most likely buy, and we'll get a news article tomorrow on how much he did buy. But Michael Saylor posted another Bitcoin tracker saying green dots beget orange dots. Strategy bought nearly $1 billion worth of Bitcoin last week. How much more do you think they'll do? And yeah, he always posts this chart on his Twitter account when he's about to make a buy. Well, not him, but the company's Strategy. So I wonder how much they will. Like, again, it's not going to be as big as it used to be, but he's been consistent, and I love seeing that. And then let's see what else. I'm just breezing through these Twitter articles, so sorry again for being late. But it looks like the quantum computing threat to Bitcoin is still on people's radar. But Cointelegraph tweeted that migrating Bitcoin to a post-quantum standard could take 5 to 10 years, says a Bitcoin core developer, James Lopp. And here he said, no, quantum computers won't break Bitcoin in the near future. We'll keep observing their evolution, yet making thoughtful changes to the protocol and unprecedented migration of funds, which could easily take 5 to 10 years, but we should hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. So again, like a core Bitcoin developer out there is saying that there's really nothing to worry about. We're going to be monitoring, we're going to hope for the best, but we are still going to be prepared for the worst. So just like moderate changes to the Bitcoin core. And again, yeah, so there's really nothing to worry about quantum computing. So if you're hearing somebody say that during the holidays, oh, quantum computer is going to take down Bitcoin, no, it's not. Like, Bitcoin networks is going to grow and evolve with it, and just monitor it. If quantum computing becomes faster, that just means Bitcoin's core developer team's got to work a little bit faster to make those changes. So yeah, so that's what's going on there. And let's see, we're getting some good adoption news, though, for Bitcoin around the world. Looks like Ghana passes a law to legalize the use of Bitcoin and crypto. Very bullish. So yeah, we were going to cover an article on this right after this next Twitter post. But yeah, like, again, the world is still slowly but surely adopting Bitcoin. Like, it takes a little bit of time, but it's definitely moving a lot faster than it has been. And then lastly, for Twitter news, just eyes on this week. I like Crypto Russ are posting this, but this is what's going on with the U.S. economic data that could move markets. So on Monday today, we have October's PCE inflation meeting happening. Then tomorrow, the U.S. Q3 2025 GDP report, plus consumer confidence and new home sales will be reported on. And then Wednesday, we got the durable goods orders. And Thursday, U.S. markets close because it's Christmas time, so everything will be shut down, even the crypto clubs. Now, bullish case is we have cooling PCE, which is lower rate pressure. Solid, not overheating GDP, so a soft landing narrative, which we've been hearing on, going into quantitative easing. Stablecoin consumer data equals risk on settlement. And then within the holiday liquidity, positive macro surprises could spark a year-end Santa rally, and crypto trends to move first. And yeah, like I was saying, like we could maybe see still a Santa rally. There's still 3 days left until Christmas time, so that'd be a nice thing to wake up to. And Bitcoin's at 95,000, even close to 100,000. I would love to see that. But again, the market still could swing either direction right now because it's just been really holding 90,000. No, it's been 88,000 like this last week. It's been like 85, 88. It's just been holding that. So is it consolidating or is it just holding that line? Can we still see a little dip? Anything's possible. But 2026, I'm still completely bullish. But yeah, so let's go over the news now. That's all the Twitter news we have for you. Let's talk about Ghana passing its law to legalize crypto trading. So here we go. This one's coming out of Cointelegraph. And this is what the central bank governor has to say. So Ghana legalizes cryptocurrency and gives its central bank authority to regulate and license providers to reduce fraud and systematic risk. Now, Ghana has legalized cryptocurrency trading by establishing a regulatory framework targeting the industry. Now, Ghana's parliament has passed the Virtual Asset Service Providers Bill into law. Now, the Bank of Ghana, Governor Johnson Asiama, said according to a report on Sunday by the state-owned daily graphic news agency. Now, virtual asset trading is now legal, and no one will be arrested for engaging in cryptocurrency, but we now have a framework to manage the risk involved. Now, Asiama said on Friday at the BOG's annual 9 Lessons, Carols, and Thanksgiving service. Now, the timing aligns with earlier central bank communications, as Asiama had previously indicated Ghana was targeting the introduction of crypto regulation by the end of 2025, and Ghana's central bank gained supervisory powers because of this. So under the legislation, the Bank of Ghana becomes the primary regulator for cryptocurrency activity with powers to license and supervise crypto asset service providers. Now, the law positions Ghana to better protect consumers from fraud, money laundering, and systematic risks, while removing uncertainty over the legal status of cryptocurrency, Asiama said, adding that what this means is that now we have the framework to manage it and to manage the risks that can involve that kind of activity. Now, these are not just legal milestones, they are enablers of better policies, stronger supervision, and more effective regulation. So they think they are ready to handle this. I hope they're ready, and I hope they don't throw in DeFi into that space, because again, I think the US finally made that realization. It's like, okay, we can't handle the DeFi side of crypto and blockchain, so let's just focus on the centralized side. And I think hopefully these guys are doing that. But the governor also mentioned that the crypto law is intended to support innovation and expand Ghana's financial inclusion, particularly among young people and tech-driven entrepreneurs. Now, Ghana ranks among sub-Saharan Africa's top 5 crypto economies. So Ghana's move to regulate cryptocurrency activity comes as the country emerges as a significant player in crypto's adoption across the region. According to Chain Analysis 2025 Geography of Cryptocurrency Report, Ghana ranked among the top 5 sub-Saharan African countries by total crypto value received between July 2024 and June of 2025. And so, yeah, they're placed 5th. Ahead of them is Kenya in 4th, Ethiopia in 3rd, South Africa in 2nd, and then Nigeria, yeah, we always get a lot of Nigerian news, is taking number 1 for crypto's adoption. Now, in the meantime, Nigeria continued to dominate the region, receiving at least $92 billion in crypto value over the period, or nearly 3 times the amount recorded by South Africa, the report showed. Now, the sub-Saharan region received over $205 billion in on-chain value, up about 52% from the previous year. Now, this growth makes it the 3rd fastest growing region in the world, just behind Asia Pacific and Latin America, according to Chain Analysis. So that's what makes me think, if they're the 3rd fastest, we've seen how Latin America has been booming with crypto's adoption. Again, it all started with El Salvador 4 years ago. Has it been 4 years? Maybe 5, around there. And they made Bitcoin legalized cryptocurrency tender out there. And then since then, it's been booming around the world. Sure, not just around the world, but even within South America. Brazil is pretty big, Argentina, and I'm sure there's a couple other countries down in South America that are doing the same, but those three are the big booming ones out there. And yeah, we always get news on Asia America too, like growing pretty fast, like with Belarus? No, that's not Asia. Gosh, what is that one? Bhutan, very small country in the woods in Asia, very crypto friendly. You got Vietnam, North and South Korea, even Japan and China. Like everyone's getting involved with crypto, and like it just goes so fast. And with Africa being the third fastest, we may see some more sparks going on later on. But speaking of let's stay on the topic of adoption news. I was talking about Latin America, and this next article talks about the crypto activity in Brazil rises 43%, with average investments surpassing $1,000 per report. So yeah, like I said, Brazil is booming with crypto's adoption now. 43% is the average of people investing at least $1,000 in it. So let's hear about this article. So Brazil's crypto market showed signs of maturity in 2025 with higher transaction volumes, larger per user investments, and growing demand for low risk products. Now, crypto activity in Brazil expanded sharply in 2025 with total transaction volume climbing 43% year over year as average investments per users crossed the $1,000 mark. Now, according to a new report from crypto platform Mercado Bitcoin, the report titled Raio X do Investidor em Ativos Digitais 2025, but claimed that the Brazilian crypto market is no longer driven just purely by speculation, but increasingly shaped by structured investing and portfolio planning. Now, the data was based on activity across Mercado Bitcoin's platform, the largest digital asset exchange in Latin America. And per the report, the average amount invested per person reached roughly 5,700 Brazilian reais. Now that's equivalent to more than $1,000 US. And at the same time, investors allocated funds across more than one crypto asset, indicating a gradual shift towards diversification rather than just a single asset bet. Now, Bitcoin remained the most traded asset, followed by the US dollar peg stablecoin, USDT, and then you got Ethereum and Solana. The report showed that stablecoins also stood out as a key on-ramp for new and existing investors, accounting for roughly 3 times more transactions than in the prior year, as users sought to lower volatility amidst uncertain macro conditions. Now, here's a chart from Crypto Moedas. Bitcoin remains the most traded asset in Brazil, and we just saw that. Yeah, number 1 is Bitcoin, USDT is number 2, Ethereum's 3, and Solana is number 4. Now, Brazil's low-risk crypto products see 108% growth. So the report revealed that lower-risk crypto products gained momentum in the 2025 year. Digital fixed income offerings, known locally as Renda Fixed Digital, and they recorded a 108% increase in investment volume, with Mercado Bitcoin distributing about $325 million to investors in 2025. Now, demographics also shifted. Investors aged between 24 and under posted a 56% increase year over year. However, Mercado Bitcoin noted that the demand expanded across all age groups, including high net worth individuals, as well as institutional profiles. Now, regionally, Brazil's southeast and south remained dominant by transaction volume, led by Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro, while states in the central west and northeast gained visibility as crypto participation spread geographically. Now, Itaú Asset advises 1% to 3% Bitcoin allocations. I believe we have, again, still institutions advising their clients to get some Bitcoin and hold on to it. So as Cointelegraph reported, Itaú Asset Management has recommended that investors allocate between 1 and 3% of their portfolios to Bitcoin, citing rising geopolitical risks, shifting monetary policy, and ongoing currency volatility. And again, they're recommending Bitcoin because, again, it's outside of the normal system. It's its own thing. So it doesn't matter about the shifting monetary policy or the current currency's volatility market. Bitcoin is its own thing, and that's why these guys are telling them you should we're seeing some uncertainty in the traditional side, so you may want to put some funds over here just to be safe, because this is outside of it. Whatever happens over here isn't going to affect this. Maybe the price a little bit, but it doesn't affect this, which is Bitcoin. Now, in research note, strategist Renata EID described Bitcoin as a distinct asset with its own return profile and potential hedging role due to its global and decentralized nature, despite sharp price swings throughout the 2025 year. And this is what I said, like, despite the volatility, Bitcoin is its own thing to hedge against just the traditional system that's going to collapse. Like, hey, the system's still here. It's not going to collapse overnight. Probably still not in my lifetime, but we're seeing it go down. So this is just a good way to hedge against it. But yeah, this is also just showing the adoption happening around the world. So Brazil's activity is increasing. Ghana in Africa is 5th highest in adoption in the country of Africa. Let's see what else is going on. Let's see. Old news we always still hear about. U.S. is still pushing for crypto clarity. They've been very embracive lately, and they're still making changes to it. And for Europe side, I think is a little bit harsher compared to America, but they're catching up. But again, I'm just saying we're getting a lot of adoption around the world, whether it's slow, fast, good or bad, it's happening. So yeah, so let's take a quick commercial break really fast. It's been 15 minutes, and then I'll be coming back with at least 2 or 3 more news articles for you. One being Cynthia Loomis is leaving. That's right. So we're covered that right after this. So there we go.
What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine, Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.
I was choked on my saliva, and we are back. And yes, guys, if you want more information about our programs or be a part of the club, go to bitcoinben.com go to bitcoinben.io. That is the official website. Get more information on that, or give us a call or text at 941-413-8080. Definitely take advantage of our confidential bulk purchase program. Again, private Bitcoin purchases. Don't need to let Uncle Sam know what you're doing with your crypto activity. So let's say private, and yeah, take advantage of all the programs we may have to offer. But let's continue on with the news. I was saying Cynthia Loomis is leaving. That is right. So Cointelegraph tweeted a huge crypto is saying thank you and goodbye to one of its strongest allies, Senator Cynthia Loomis. So what's going on? What's happening? Let's find out together. So Bitcoin Senator Cynthia Loomis will not run for re-election. Senator Loomis, one of crypto's most powerful allies in Washington, has been instrumental in fights to pass industry-favored legislation. So Senator Cynthia Loomis, Republican of Wyoming, one of crypto industry's most reliable and powerful allies on Capitol Hill, announced on Friday that she will not seek re-election when her term expires next year. Now, deciding not to run for re-election does represent a change of heart for me, but in the difficult, exhausting session weeks this fall, I've come to accept that I do not have 6 more years in me, Loomis said in a statement. I am a devout legislator, but I feel like a sprinter in a marathon. The energy required just doesn't match up now. Earlier this year, Loomis, who has been called the Bitcoin Senator for her crypto support and advocacy, was instrumental to the passage of the Genius Act, the first ever major piece of crypto legislation signed into law. Now, the bill, which established a federal framework for issuing and trading stablecoins, faced many dramatic starts and stops before ultimately getting over the finish line in late July. And again, from Cynthia Loomis, she tweeted, "Thank you, Wyoming. Serving our state has been the honor of my life," with Cynthia Loomis in a pic. And she posted that on December 19th, 2025 on Twitter. Now, Loomis has also been at the center of ongoing negotiations over the crypto industry coveted market structure bill, which has faced even more substantial hurdles than the passage. The history of that bill, which would formally legalize most crypto activity in the United States, stretches back to 2022, when Loomis and Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, Democrat of New York, first drafted a version that was ultimately never passed. Now, the sprawling market structure bill currently faces numerous obstacles, among them growing dissensions between factions with the crypto industry over the legislation's content and necessity. Now, Senate Republicans first aimed to see the bill be passed by the end of summer, then by September, then by the end of the year, a target that has also now just slipped by. So the legislation has not yet been marked up by the Senate Banking Committee, and Congress is expected to grind to a halt by spring in anticipation of the 2026 midterms. Now, whether the bill will be managed to become law will likely become one of the final benchmarks of Loomis's 18-year tenure in Congress. Now, in her time advocating for crypto-related issues, Loomis has also placed a particular emphasis on the importance of Bitcoin. Earlier this year, the senator introduced the Bitcoin Act, which would obligate the U.S. government to purchase some $80 billion worth of Bitcoin over a 5-year period in the interest of bolstering a federal strategic Bitcoin reserve. Now, Loomis' retirement announced Friday immediately prompted the messages of support from the crypto industry leaders. Now, Senator Loomis has been leading champion for digital assets in Washington. We got G. Kim, CEO of the Crypto Council for Innovation, said in a statement shared with Decrypt that the digital asset ecosystem is stronger because of her service, and we are grateful for her leadership. Now, Loomis would have been up for re-election next year, but she will retire from Congress in January 2027. So, Loomis, thank you so much for everything you've done. Just killing it. I hope whoever wins your seat for Wyoming is definitely as Bitcoin friendly as you and continues your efforts. So, bravo, Cynthia Loomis. But yeah, so yeah, that's what's going on. If you were seeing that, it's like going, what's going on? She's not in it. She can't do it. She said, I don't have another 6 years in me. Like, this is a sprint for everything she's been doing. It's just like, she just knows she cannot. So she's going to step down and let someone else take the wings off of her. So there we go. But that's some pretty big news going on in the space. I wonder how crypto's price is going to reflect to it. So again, this is kind of like a macroeconomic data statistic. It's just like showing like what's affecting the world. How is it going to affect the price of Bitcoin? Because now it's like, okay, she's stepping down. She was a very big advocate. Now whoever replaces her could either continue innovation here in the country or stifle it and put us at a halt again. So a lot of stuff can take place because of it. So I'll keep you informed on who's going to be next, but we still have a year off because this won't take place until 2027. So I'll keep you guys definitely informed on what's going to happen. Now let's move on. Let's see, what else do we have for you? Some Uniswap news. So it looks like the Uniswap fee switch is set to trigger historic token burns as vote passes. Can Uni reach $10? I don't know. Wait, do I even have any Uni on my balance sheets? Maybe, I don't know. So I had a bunch of decentralized exchange tokens, but the past governance vote turns on the fee switch that channels part of trading fees into token burns, lowering circulating supply and then creating a deflationary effect. So the Uniswap community is on the verge of approving one of the most consequential governance decisions in the protocol's history. With a vote to activate the long-debated fee switch and burn, a large portion of Uni tokens is set to pass later this week. So the proposal known as unification, that's awesome, has already crossed the required quorum and is backed by overwhelming support and is set to go live following a short-time lock period. Now here is Crypto.news tweet on Uniswap advances its fee switch proposal to redirect the protocol revenue toward Uni burns, estimating a $500 million in annual value capture. So notably, this will set the stage for changes that would directly tie Uniswap's protocol activity to the Uni token supply dynamics for the first time since launch. So Uniswap vote nears its finish with its overwhelming support. As of early Monday, more than 69 million Uni tokens had been used to vote in favor of the proposal, far above the 40 million required for approval. Now, voting on December 20th and runs through Christmas Day, though opposition has been negligible, only around 740 votes, roughly 0.001% of those cast, were against the proposal, while about 1.5 million uni were marked as abstentions. So wait, was that the amount of unicorns that just were not in the vote? But still, the ones voting against it is very slim at a 0.001%. Now, more than 6,000 addresses have participated, with support hovering near 100% among active voters. Now, Uniswap Labs CEO Hayden Adams said that once the vote formally closes, the changes will be subject to a 2-day time lock before implementation. So if it gets voted on and gets approved, there's going to be a 2-day time lock until it does get implemented. So Hayden Adams just submitted the unification proposal for the final governance vote. Voting starts on December 19th at 10:30 p.m., which was 2 days ago, and ends on December 25th, Christmas Day. If it passes after a 2-day time lock period, 100 million uni tokens will be burned. And then we have the Uniswap application V2 plus V3 fee switches will flip on mainnet and begin burning uni along with it. So the proposal also authorizes the immediate burning of 100 million uni tokens from Uniswap Foundation's treasury. The governance package also introduces a protocol fee discount auction system designed to improve returns for liquidity providers, while also aligning Uniswap Labs. Now, the Uniswap Foundation and on-chain governance under a single legal structure uses Wyoming DUNA framework. Now, several influential figures in the decentralized financial space backed the unification proposal, including Variant founder Jesse Waldron, Synthetics and Infinex founder Kane Warwick, and former Uniswap Labs engineer Ian Laffin, all of whom hold substantial voting power. Now, can this fee switch finally give uni holders a direct payoff? Well, the vote comes amid a wider debate across the DeFi about sustainable token economics and long-term capture. So many protocols have struggled to translate heavy usage into tangible benefits for the token holders, a criticism that followed Uniswap for years despite its dormant market position. Now, Uniswap remains the largest decentralized exchange by volume, having processed more than $4 trillion in trade since launching in 2018. Yet, uni holders have historically had limited direct exposure to the protocol revenue. Now, supporters of the fee switch argue that tying protocol revenue more directly to uni supply dynamics could reshape that narrative. Now, the market reaction has been swift. Uni has gained roughly 25% since voting began, trading near $6.08 after recovering from a month-long slump that pushed the token to a 7-month low of $4.88. So yeah, so that's Uniswap's current price. So people are, so it's kind of bullish. If it does get approved, 100 million tokens get burnt out of the $1 billion supply, 100,000 million billion. So yeah, out of their total supply, they're going to burn 100 million Uniswap tokens. So that definitely will play effect on the roll, and looks like people are just positioning themselves, getting ready for it. Now, early signs of their proposal in November sparked an even sharper move, with Uni climbing close to 40% in a matter of days and briefly touching $9.70 on November 11th before the broader market weakness set in again. Now, again, this is what is the word I'm thinking of? This is a prediction, not saying it's going to happen, but can Uni reach $10 before the end of the year? According to CoinGecko data, Uni is currently the 38th largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization, valued around $3.8 billion. Now, from a technical perspective, Uni's price action has drawn renewed attention as the governance process nears completion, and the token has recently bounced from the lower boundaries of a multi-year ascending channel that has guided its recovery since the post-2021 drawdown. Now, here is that chart since the 2021 drawdown, and then I guess we've been getting increasing gains so far, I guess, from the bottoms. So increasing lows from the bottoms. And now I see the arrows right there. But analysis tracking the structure note that this zone has historically acted as a strong demand, with each retest followed by higher reaction highs. Now, in the near term, Uni faces resistance to around the $6.80 level to $7.20 range. Now, with heavy supply clustered close to $9 and above. So again, like the support range is 680. So even though it's at, what's its price right now? Oh, 608. So it's going to be hovering those prices at the current moment. But when this happens, could we hit a $10? Maybe. I'll have to do some math on that. Saying if we had 900 tokens, multiply that by the token supply or the current market price. By the is that the one? Yeah, the current market price over divided by the market cap. I gotta use one of those formulas to see out there. But no, this is bullish news for Uniswap. And looks like the price is, though, yeah, I totally scrolled off and had to get back on track. But yeah, so this is definitely bullish news. Can it reach $10? Maybe. 100 million token burn is pretty big if your entire cap is 1 billion. So I'm thinking we could probably get that. So we'll just have to wait and see. And that'll let you know if the vote passes. December 25th, Christmas Day is the ending. And then so we will definitely know what happens by December 28th, where the price is at. So that is our Uniswap news. Now let's go on to our final news article, which is a scam that we still need to be aware of. There's always all these phishing scams, wrench attack scams, dare I say romance scams? Probably. But there's so many scams out there, but there's always one that you just cannot forget about because this happens all the time. And this is a crypto user who loses $50 million in USDT to a poisoning attack. So we got to be aware of the poison attacks, Daryl. This is where an individual, a scammer, will send you like a fractional amount of Bitcoin to your wallet. Again, and the main reason they're doing this is to get on your transaction timeline. And what you should never do in crypto is copy your public address from the transaction timeline because of that scenario. What if someone sent you money, you were thinking it was your address, and then you send it straight to the scammer? So again, when you're always pulling up an address to send yourself money or go to your crypto account, you open your wallet, you click receive, and you scan or copy that QR code right there. That is it. That's the process you do. You never open your wallet. Oh, let me go to my transaction history. I sent myself $20 last month. Copy that address, because that's where these attacks are happening. So just be aware of that. But let's see how this, I was about to say, let's see how this person got scammed. Again, there's really no way to really find it out. Your public address is public on chain. A scammer just has to go to bitcoinexplorer.com to scroll down the list. Oh, there's an address. Let's send 5 cents of Bitcoin. Oh, there's another one. Let's send a 5 cents. So there's no like direct target, like no one's specifically targeting you for it. So it's like just completely random. They're sending macro amounts of Bitcoin. Just an attempt. Someone will click on their link and send them Bitcoin. So let's go through this article just to hear a little bit more about it. So an unsuspecting crypto user has recently lost $50 million of USDT tokens in an address poisoning scam. Now, the incident represents one of the largest on-chain losses in 2025, drawing reactions from crypto security experts as new developments on the matter roll in. Now, the copy and paste mistake, which costs a user $50 million of USDT. So address poisoning is a scam in which an attacker sends a small transaction from a wallet address that closely resembles a victim's legitimate address, hoping that the victim will later copy the wrong address from their transaction history, unknowingly sending the funds to the attacker. Again, they're hoping they pull from their transaction history, so never pull your address from the transaction history. Now, blockchain security page Web3 antivirus reports that a crypto user recently fell victim to this scam, sending 49,999,950 USDT to a poison address copied from the transaction history. Now, considering the large transaction, the user had tried taking caution by sending a small test transaction to the correct address. However, the nature of the address poisoning requires close monitoring where the attackers are still able to immediately send dust transaction from wallets resembling the intended address. So, they did a quick little tester transaction. If they're watching that wallet, they're going to implement it right away. So that way you'll click on that first transaction, which is probably the scammers. Now, COS, founder of fellow security platform Slomis, provided valuable insights on this operation, knowing that similarity between both addresses, which share the same first 3 characters and last 4 characters. The victim unknowingly picked the poison address from the transaction history to complete the $50 million, thus making it one of the biggest on-chain individual losses of 2025. Now, more data from Web3 antivirus reveals that the victim's wallet has been active on-chain for approximately 2 years and is primarily used for just USDT transfers. Now, the stolen $50 million was also initially withdrawn from Binance before the scam occurred. Notably, the stolen USDT has since been converted to Ethereum by the attacker and shared among multiple wallets who have also funneled some of the loot through Tornado Cash. And yes, Tornado Cash is still around, still works. If you have a VPN, you can still utilize it to mix up your transactions and make your crypto a little bit more private. But address poisoning victims offer a bounty with 48-hour ultimatum. So, in other news, blockchain investigator Spectre analyst reports that the victim has attempted to establish a communication with the attackers via on-chain message. According to an X post on December 20th, the victim claimed to have filed a criminal complaint case while also enlisting the relevant law enforcement, cybersecurity, and blockchain protocols to provide needed intelligence on the scammer's activities. Furthermore, all 6 addresses associated with the heist are now under constant surveillance. However, the aggravated party is offering the perpetrators of the address poisoning a peaceful resolution, which involves the willingness to return 98% of the loot to a specified address within 48 hours. And here is the message from that hacker who has given him that ultimatum and the bounty. So we officially filed a criminal case with the assistance of law enforcement, cybersecurity. The wallet address under your control is now under 24. Okay, so this is them letting them know what's going on. So this is your final opportunity to resolve the matter peacefully. You're hereby required to return 98% of the stolen assets to this address below within 48 hours. You may retain USD 1 million as white hat bounty for the identity of the vulnerability. Now contact us via on-chain. If you fail to comply, we will escalate the matter through legal. Okay, so they didn't present a bounty to the victim. The victim and whoever's helping them threw out a bounty to the scammers in hopes they do return it. But notably, the victim will allow the bad actors to keep $1 million as a bug bounty for spotting such a vulnerability in their operations. And again, this is everyone's vulnerability, not just him. This is just there. Like anybody can send people crypto as long as they have their public address. That's like, it's not really a vulnerability, just the vulnerability is on the user. Like we got to be adamant for what we're clicking on, where we're copying and pasting. Like we are the responsible ones here in crypto. There's no more middlemen anymore, so you can't just rely on someone to pull money back, get it back for you, give you the okay to send the money over. Like you are fully responsible to be in this space. So unless you don't want to be full responsibility, leave it on the exchange and just put your faith in the third party, Coinbase, Uphold, whoever, which I guess Uphold did have a breach really. So again, it's like if you don't want the responsibility, like don't be take self-custody in crypto. But this is why we're all here. We want to be in full control of our finances. We don't want to wait on the middleman anymore to say it's okay to send money. So again, this isn't a vulnerability in like the code or anything. This is just human error where we got to be responsible for what we click on. Pay attention to the URL, pay attention to the emails we receive, the links we click on. Like we are responsible for everything. So just be aware of that if you're new in the crypto space. So again, the people also further warn the attackers that the identities will be revealed and shared to relevant agencies so they cannot hide out there. But again, this is one of those scams out there that like when it pops up, I gotta share it with you. So this is known as poisoning attacks. So again, we're very familiar with the romance scams and pig butchering, somebody trying to make you fall in love with them, then send them money, or they'll get you into an investment plan or something. And then there's also the send me 1 Bitcoin, I'll send you 2 back scam. There's so many scams out there, but this one is usually one that not too many people know about. So again, to stay safe from this, what you got to do is just never copy your address from your transaction history in your crypto wallet. That's it. As long as you don't do that, you do not have to worry about this attack at all. Just always open wallet, click receive on the token you want to receive. That's your true address right there, and that's it. So please stay safe out there and do not lose any money. Now let's take a look at our fear and greed index right now. Where are we at? 29? Are we going up? Yeah, we are going up. We are pushing away from the extreme fear territory, so that's very nice. Bitcoin is still currently sitting at 89,200, so a little dip. Ethereum's at $3,000, so we made our way above that again. Where's XRP? $1.93. So can we get back up to $2? I know there's stuff going on with the XRP community or ecosystem. Solana's at 126, and Dogecoin 13 cents. There is not much news on Doge anymore, so I'm not sure how more relevant Dogecoin can stay. It still is the king of all memes. Like it cannot go away because it's still dual mine with Litecoin, so it's here. But there's not news on the Dogecoins. That just tells me that the meme coin space is done right now. So if you're holding some meme coins, I don't think those are going to be pumping unless it's a really rare lottery ticket for you. It's like I got Dogecoin, Elon Musk, Harry Potter, Obama, Biden whatever coin out there. Like that's just a very slim chance of the lottery ticket that it'll go up, and even if you can pull liquidity after that. So I think the meme space is done. I still feel like it's all Bitcoin news right now. Some crypto adoption out there, but for the meme space, I'm just, from what I hear in the space, like Ivan on Tech is not touching any altcoins right now. Very too risky. He even de-escalated his portfolio. I think he only holds like 30% now since he de-escalated in October. Today he was talking about Alex Becker, who is usually like the big fun crypto trading platform or crypto altcoin channel on YouTube. I guess he said like he doesn't hold any altcoins right now, and he was the altcoin guy. So altcoins are kind of rare right now, but Bitcoin is still very bullish, and 2026 is going to be pretty great on that. But that's it for the news, guys. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. Sorry for being late. Tomorrow, I'll try to be on time. I kind of have to be because I leave for California, and I'll be there for the holidays. So, everyone, have an awesome day. Merry Christmas. Enjoy your Monday, and I will see you again tomorrow with some more news. So, peace out. Take care.
What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine, Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.